In 1948, I decided I would take psychiatry, and then I met a very nice young person named David Hamburg, who was a resident, and he was so totally different. I was a sophisticated New Yorker, and he was from Evansville, Indiana. But we had a lot in common because we were both, curious. And anyway, he and I were sort of drawn towards each other.
I'm really happy that this award is being given to the David and Betty. I don't think any couple will be more deserving than them, given their contribution to our world and what they have achieved.
There are very few images of scientists are as great humanitarians. And Dave and Betty have exemplified how you can take knowledge and actually transform that knowledge, that body of information, into something much bigger for humanity. And I think, for me personally, that transformed my idea of what I can be in this world.
I think that when history looks at their life and their contributions, they're going to point to them as unique leaders who understood how to relate psychiatry to the rest of the world.
This entire effort of theirs is a 65-year marriage, which is a love story, and it's a magnificent love story.
You really cannot understand extreme mental illness without understanding the workings and the variations, the emotionality, how that works in our brain, why we have emotions in the first place. David and Betty's pioneering early work emphasized the fact of what we do is about coping. So they studied stress very early on, the biology of stress.
She became one of the nation's leading experts on the problems of adolescence and different stages of adolescence, etc., during an era in which most people simply didn't really think about them in any particular way or fashion.
What is the alternative if we don't learn to live together? We don't recognize that we have this huge capacity to learn the pro-social, the cooperative behaviors.
David Hamburg has exemplified the finest tradition of humane social engagement.
David also understood that in the world we live in, it was essential for all of us to accept that we are all in the same boat, and what unites us is much more important than what divides us. And David instinctively understood that. And in bringing together a group from different nationalities to tackle the kind of issue I wanted him to tackle, the issues of peace, issues of genocide.
The UN altogether has the potential to survey the world's experience, to learn everything there is to know about ways of preventing mass violence, to extract the most promising actions and make them available to groups in distress.
You think of the Holocaust, you think of Rwanda, of Bosnia and Cambodia, and genocide is seen as something up there that nobody wants to touch, nobody wants to discuss in a meaningful way. David's approach, as he does so brilliantly in his book, Preventing Genocide, is to look at the nature of genocide. What are the causes? And to use various tools to cooperate with governments in making the necessary prevention.
My parents were very committed to a core set of values that involved love and support for family, the importance of social justice. They both came from backgrounds that really made them not only care about that issue, but they had experienced it. My father, an immigrant Jew whose parents had escaped the pogroms, and my mother from an African American community. They transcended racial and religious barriers, which, you know, some 6 decades ago was pretty remarkable. And they brought a set of core values into that marriage, into their shared professional lives, and into the work they did and the difference that they've made in the world.
At the end of the day, just continue being who you are, doing what you are doing, and growing the way you are still growing.
Thank you for showing that we shouldn't be intimidated by the big problems of the world, but we should attack them and find every way we can to redress them.